am actually a bit shocked with that guy. I Being in England, I guess I think I have quite a sheltered life because dogs don't really exist here, or at least they're not out in the open, they're hidden. But in America, I feel like there is, particularly in the black community, I've seen loads of black gang rap, and I've never really been a fan of black rap because it's mostly about sex, and it's kind of not just sex, but it's revolting sex, just play with the pussy and just like and it sounds like I don't watch it because it sounds like dogs basically, and I feel like there is this weird cultural belief that it's fine for a guy to fuck 100 people. I know Martin, when I met him, he told me he'd had sex with 100 people, and in a way, it felt like he told me that to impress me. It didn't, but it did, but it shouldn't have done, and it bothered me why it did. And I feel like there's lots and lots of guys who have this stupid mentality that it's complete. In fact, it's cool. If you're a guy who's fucked 100 people, wow, you're amazing. And these same guys would have the same view that if a girl fucks 100 people, you know, they can make money out of it. They're in a better position. I can't. If I fucked 100 people, I'd probably have to pay lots of money for, or I'd have to, I'd have to pay for it. And if guys have this mentality of I love sex, I have to pay for sex, they are going to be in the same mentality to believe that if a woman has sex, makes money, and you take the money off her, in a way, I feel like they might actually be feeling a slight jealousy about over it. You can have sex with people and make money. Now, if I have sex with people, I'm most likely going to have to pay to get it. And so I feel like from there, if I was to put myself in a position to be as low as that guy in the interview, I don't know, he looked a bit like Snoop Dogg, and I was kind of shocked. I don't know which video. It might have been one of those videos I posted on Facebook, but I was kind of shocked at how he said that he had bitches, and he said that he took all the money, and he had absolutely no remorse because he saw that these women having sex with people, that is, if I was trying to put myself into his mind and think, why did he think that? Why did he think it was fine to have girlfriends, get them to fuck people, and then to take their money? Why did he think that was okay? And I think the answer is because he likes fucking people. If he fucked 100 people, he would see himself as the dog, the man. He'd see himself as the best. He'd see himself almost as a king in a way. And so because he sees himself as being a king for if he could fuck 100 people. I hate using the word sex, and I want to use the word fuck because it shows how kind of how horrific this actually is. The fact that people have this mentality, but he would see himself as being a king if he fucked 100 people, and if a girl fucks 100 people, okay, people usually put shame and disgrace on that. Oh, she's a whore, and they'll name call her, but I feel like a part of them must actually feel a slight amount of jealousy. If you fucked 100 people, you would make thousands of pounds. If I fucked 100 people, I would get nothing for it. And so, I hate this kind of dog mentality, and people who think that this is okay, and even just using a prostitute, is bad because that girl could have had sex with like 5, 6 other people a day. I'm hearing cases on YouTube where people say that they have sex with 10, 20 guys a day. I don't actually believe it because from my experiences as a masseuse, there are a lot of people that come to me that would have sex with me. But if they knew that I'd had sex with 2 or 3 other people that day, they would not have sex with me. I don't think, out of all the clients that I've seen, I think only a very few of them would want to have sex with me if they thought that I'd had sex with 2 or 3 other people that day. Maybe this is just England and people not being that bad here. I don't like how they don't give a shit that I'm God. I don't like that. But at the end of the day, they're fairly decent people, and I think a lot of people love to blame humans and just say that they're awful. And so if you hear cases where people say, "Oh yeah, I would be forced to have sex 10, 20 times a day," I don't think that's the truth, because I think there's enough people in the world who would know that it's not nice to have sex with someone who's had sex with someone else that same day. Even knowing that that person has had sex with one other person that day, it would make you feel dirty about yourself. And I think even though people have a very low mentality, even a dog would not like their their bitch that they're fucking. If they wouldn't like their dog as much if they knew that that dog had sex with 10 other people that day. And okay, dogs are a bit dumb, they probably don't know or care really, but if they did know that, I don't know, the dog that they're having kids with or something is, some dogs actually have a sort of have something inside of them that make them nice people and stuff, or make them nice dogs. You can get nice dogs, and people are bad, but people don't like the idea of forcing someone to have sex with them. If they're doing it through money, then it's different. But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of exaggerated and lying cases. If you're being forced to have sex with someone 1 or 2 times a day, it would be easy to just say, oh, they were doing it 10, 20 times a day. It would be easy to say that. It would be easy to still cry and show remorse, and I feel like a lot of that is. But yeah, if I was to try and think about the mentality of these people who think that it's okay um, to fuck loads of people, I feel like they think this way because in the back of their mind they're jealous. There's loads of people who sleep with prostitutes, and if they had the opportunity, they would sleep with prostitutes every single day. If I had I bet there's loads of people who sleep with prostitutes who would say this exact same thing. If I had the money to sleep with a prostitute every day, I would do so. Of course, so they know that they would get sexual diseases, so they wouldn't want it. And likewise, they would know that if they're sleeping with someone who's sleeping with someone every day, they too will get sexual diseases. So I don't think sex market is a very, very big market, but I do think that there are people who care enough about their own health to not want to have sex with people who have had sex with lots of people that day. There's a lot of people that would not want to have have sex with a prostitute who slept with someone else that same day. Um, I've never gone into it, but but I believe that is the truth. If someone's sleeping with a prostitute, how many have you done this day? Okay, they might lie and not say the truth, but I feel like if they were lying, the person would feel like, I don't want to do this that often. I don't want to sleep with people who've slept with lots of other people, because then they would feel shallow and horrible themselves. If they had any sort of humanity in them, they wouldn't feel that this is good. And I think a lot of people would be so willing to believe that these people are worse than they are. R. Kelly might not be perfect, but people are so happy to believe that he is, having sex with hundreds of people. I mean, what's the Jeff Effrey one? There was a woman who lied about having sex tapes, and it's clear that she lied. She admitted a few years later about lying about these sex tapes. Now, these sex tapes of these, I think Richard Branson, or there was 3 people's names were mentioned. I've forgotten the names, but there was so people don't, even though that was just fake and fabricated, people don't want to really talk about that. A lot of people are still making videos about how these sex tapes are real, and they don't want to admit that actually they're in the wrong for spreading lies that have actually been proven to be untrue. That they're too busy wanting to put blame on society and put hate on society, that they're they're ignoring the truth, and ignoring that there's both sides. If people want to make documents about sex cults, they want to ignore the fact that if they would have tried to help these people during their abuse, they wouldn't have wanted help because they didn't see themselves as being abused. And that was one of the things they said in the documents about people, trafficking victims, is most sex trafficking victims don't want help, because at the time you're helping them, they don't believe that they are sex trafficking victims. Now, if that's the truth of most sex trafficking victims, sex trafficking victims don't realize that they are sex trafficking victims at the time. Well, then it's like, well, are they? Surely a victim is a victim if they know they're being victimized. If you're someone who knows you're being victimized, then it's so much worse, because you know what's happening to you is wrong. Now, if you don't know what's happening to you is wrong, if you've got a partner who just says, yeah, you're lucky, you get to have sex with people. If I wanted to have sex with people, I have to pay. You should make the most of the fact that you're a woman and you can have sex with people whilst making money off it. If you have a boyfriend that has this kind of belief, and if you too believe it too, it kind of shows that you are stupid and you are also acting like a dog. You know, you could look at dogs and see them fucking each other and be like, well, they're not making any money. So what if I have sex and don't make any money and give it to my partner because I love them? You know, it's stupidity. It's stupidity, and I think it would be wrong to just blame it all on the pimps when when the truth is they're both kind of as bad as each other. The pimps are bad for feeling jealous that their boy that their girlfriend can make all this money and they can't. You know, the pimps. That's probably how they make the money. That's how they get their bitches. I think I just want to call them dogs and bitches because that's what they are. That's what they are. They are dogs and bitches that have been turned into humans because there are way too many humans on Earth, and the Matrix is saying, well, there's no more human souls, so I'm going to have to go for dogs and bitches souls. You know, it's not nice to call people dogs and bitches, and I know it's in the music industry, and I'm not saying that the people in the music industry are wrong. I'm saying that they are representing different types of people that exist on Earth, and the reason why people love Snoop Dogg. I'm a fan of Snoop Dogg. You know, I'm not insulting him. He has this mentality, and I like listening to I liked listening to Snoop Dogg when I was younger because it reminded me of America, and I had a really strange desire to want to live in America. And his Doggy Dog song. There was one song particularly that I really liked, and it almost gave me kind of visions of living in America in a sort of poorer, rougher area, and I felt comforted by it. I don't know why, but I'm saying this because I've never said it before. But my high school, I had a fantasy about wanting to be raised up in a high school, an American high school school, and driving one of those yellow buses to school. And it just, I had a fantasy about it. It was not just one fantasy. It was something that I really kind of wanted. And now that I know that I was a Leah, I feel it's strange because it actually did happen. But yeah, I liked listening to Snoop Dogg, not because I liked the attitude or the behavior, but because it reminded me of people that actually exist, and it gave me a taste of something that I've never experienced. You don't get that dog lifestyle in England, and it was nice just to. It feels like almost traveling. Like you can listen to music videos where you pick up on societies that you don't come part of, and then you feel part of them by listening to the music. But I didn't really want to be part of it. I didn't want to be part of it, but it's if you if you want to go to a theme park that has like different time travels. I used to fantasize about wanting to have to set up a theme park that just goes on for different time periods, and you can walk around it and feel like you're traveling around time or something. So I like the idea of experiencing different things that other people experience, and in the same way, um, the dog lifestyle is not something that I've ever experienced, but I feel like you can get a taste through it through his music. Hence why I liked his songs. But yeah, in reality, these people do belong. The people that he represents do belong in the body of a dog, and they should go back to it. And you know, these women who are acting like dogs and being treated like dogs because they generally believe, well, that they can make money from it and their partner can't. Therefore, they should make money on it because they can enjoy sex, they can make money, and the partner can't do this. So why not give him the money? Because he's at a disadvantage, and you're at the advantage because you're the one who can make money. And I think there might be some women, I can't, because I saw that documentary, and they were showing they were trying to rescue the 15 and 16-year-old and 17-year-olds that get caught up in this stupid belief. But yeah, I was looking at the other women who were of age, thinking why would some of these, like, yeah, they want the money, but why would they fall into this trap of believing that this is normal? And the reason why they fall into the trap of believing it's normal is because for every guy that pays money to these people, they pay this money to these people while slightly jealous of the fact that they have to pay money to get this act. Whereas they're the people that receive the money, they get the enjoyment of the sex, and they get the money. Okay, they probably don't enjoy it because they're probably sleeping with way more people. There's more guys that wanting to sleep with prostitutes than girls that want to be prostitutes. Hence why girls start feeling shit after a while, and they start getting diseases, and maybe they get pregnant, and people also treat prostitutes badly, so they get the stigma of feeling like shit. And after years of feeling like shit, they think, okay, yeah, I see that this is wrong now. So in a way, it's like their mental state at the beginning is of a dog. And then over time they go through lots of abuse and think, well, this is not right. I don't want to be a dog. I don't want to be someone's bitch. I don't want this. And sometimes you fall into the trap of giving your partner lots of money, and then it's hard to get out of it because you've done it before. I know that I don't do much, but when there was a point where I was like, okay, I'm now 32. I feel like I'm getting old, and I don't want to wear bikinis any longer. So I'm going to stop wearing a big, or a tankini, should I say? I wear tankinis, not bikinis. It's like short bottoms, not strippy, not small ones. But yeah, there was a point where I wanted to stop, and there were so many people that came to me and liked me wearing that, and it was very, very difficult. It's like, well, you've done it before, so why not? And if you're dating someone and you've given them the money for other things, they need the money for alcohol or smokes, and smoking is very expensive. And if I wanted to make cigarettes, I have to what, work in a factory and do hard work, whereas you could just sleep with one guy and I can go and buy and that's like 2 weeks supply of cigarettes. They would guilt their partner into thinking that because they can make money so easily through sex, that they are the lucky ones. They're the lucky ones for being able to make this money, and because we're a partner, we're a team, we work together. I think there's so many girls that fall into this trap, and it's stupidity, and it's guys' desperation in wanting money, and guys' jealousy over the fact that they can make money, and it's, yeah, and it takes suffering for them to stop. But I think if there were less people, it would stop a lot quicker because they would just go back to being animals. Or if I threaten to put them back into animal bodies by acting like this, that should be enough to actually get them to stop. So I do hope to do that. I'm going to turn you into a dog if you act like this. That's probably the best approach because then no one gets hurt. The problem is I think there is too many people here. So you first need to have see how we can get rid of them, how we can depopulate the world, and then we can go into the scare tactic of I'll turn you into a dog if you act like that.